In the midst of all this stuff going on with the virus and whatnot, I almost forgot to constantly look up updates involving John Lee Coward, because the last time we talked about him was when they were basically, the trial was pretty much done. And remember, the jury had to go for deliberations for 2 weeks. And I said, I'll see y'all in 2 weeks. It's amazing how 2 weeks have flown by so fast. I said, let me just go ahead and type his name in and see what comes up. And sure enough, I have some good news. So, John Lee Coward, the man who murdered Nia Wilson and almost killed her sister Latifah Wilson 2 years ago in San Francisco in the Bay Area, has been found guilty of first-degree murder, which means he will most likely be sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Now, as y'all know, my rule is I do not do the Petty Pendergrass productions until after we get the sentencing. This is, we don't want to jump the gun too quickly, but, you just want to bring awareness to what is about to occur. So I'm going to go ahead and read this article coming from The Guardian. A California man with a history of violence and alleged mental illness, I threw alleged in there because I don't believe he has any type of mental illness, has been found guilty of the random stabbing death of 18-year-old Nia Wilson on a commuter train platform 2 years ago, a killing with racial undertones that prompted rallies and vigils throughout the San Francisco Bay Area. An Alameda County jury announced on Tuesday it had found John Lee Coward, age 29, guilty of murdering Wilson at the MacArthur BART station in Oakland as she was returning home from a family gathering with her two sisters. Jurors also found Coward guilty of attempted murder in the stabbing of Wilson's sister, who survived severe injuries to her neck. That was the other one I was trying to figure out. I was like, okay, I'm glad that they got him on the bigger charge of murder, but what about the attempted murder of her sister? And so he's been found guilty of that as well, which is also a very good thing. Yeah, I think it's safe to say he's definitely going to get the life without parole. I don't think that they can even try to appeal this. The jury also convicted Coward of the special circumstances count of lying in wait. So basically, he's been found guilty of everything he's been charged with. The jury reached the verdict hours after starting deliberations. Coward will face a second trial to determine his sanity. Here they go. If found insane, he will be sent to a psychiatric hospital. Well, now you see why I said I don't want to jump the gun. Look, you hear what I just read right here? Now, mind you, they found him guilty of everything, but they still want to have a trial to determine his sanity to see if he's either going to go to jail or spend the rest of his life in a psychiatric ward because he has an alleged mental illness that we don't know specifically what it is. The stabbing death of the young African-American woman in July 2018 horrified bystanders and added to Bay Area Rapid Transit BART's reputation as unsafe. The commuter train system connects San Francisco to cities in the South and East Bay areas, including Oakland and Berkeley. Train officials sought to reassure the public with measures intended to improve safety. Family and friends have said the women were targeted because of their race, but prosecutors declined to charge him with a hate crime. That doesn't mean race did not come up. Coward admitted at trial he had been punched in the face by a black woman about a week before the train stabbing, and the prosecutor queried him about trying to pick a fight with another black woman after the stabbing. Well, if you got punched in the face by some random black woman, then why in the world would you not, if you had that much that you wanted to go back at her, why didn't you just go at that person? Why kill some random person that had nothing to do with what you allegedly said? And even I don't even believe that to be true. How convenient he comes up with this story to try to justify him killing Nia Wilson and attempting to kill her sister. Coward followed the sisters from the platform onto a train for a 30-minute ride to another station, then stabbed them while they were boarding another train, the Deputy District Attorney Butch Ford told the jury in opening statements in early February. Video showed Coward tailing the women and removing a knife hidden in his pants in the attack that killed Wilson and wounded Latifah Wilson, aged 26. Video also showed Cowell trying to blend in with passengers after the assault, misdirecting officers and changing clothes he kept in a backpack that was tossed along with the knife. See, that part right there, that's that whole lying in wait thing that they got him on. See, that shows you right there. He had that thing strategically planned out. He went out there with the intent of killing someone that day. He took that little girl's life, Ford told jurors in closing arguments on Monday. the East Bay Times reported. Coward has pled not guilty by reason of insanity. His public defender, Christina Moore, that bitch, argued that he stabbed the sisters in a rash act stemming from his mental illness and that a person can be organized yet schizophrenic, but we still don't know what the mental illness is. This case is and has always been what has been in John's mind, said Moore in her closing. Coward was thrown out of court twice for disruptive behavior. He testified he thought the sisters were aliens and part of a gang that had kidnapped his grandmother. The trial, which took up much of February, had been delayed while authorities sought to determine Coward's mental competence through a series of psychiatric evaluations. In December, a judge ruled Coward was fit to stand trial after noting that he was refusing to cooperate with doctors appointed to evaluate him. Coward was released from a maximum security facility for mentally ill convicts less than 3 months before the attack. Now look at that part. Now that part right there, I didn't know. Let me read that again. He was released from a maximum security facility for mentally ill convicts less than 3 months before killing her. What have I told you? This man was in a maximum security prison for people who are mentally insane. And y'all let him back on the streets only for him to kill someone. No wonder he said he claimed that he thought aliens were coming to, a gang of aliens were coming to abduct his grandma, whatever that he came up with. If he was in a facility like that, which sounds like something out of Batman, like Arkham Asylum, he should have never been released. But see, that's the thing. They keep giving them chance after chance after chance to try to rehabilitate themselves. But you got to think, maximum security. He had to have done something that heinous to get there. Makes you beg the question, what did he do to end up in that facility in the first place? Before I even ask why he was released, why was he there in the first place? Why was he there? What did he do? Let's dig a little bit deeper into his past. He had to have done something crazy insane enough to get there. And why they let him out, I have no clue. But the fact of the matter is, he got out and now someone is dead. Someone almost died. He doesn't need to be in any more psychiatric places. He needs to be in a prison cell for the rest of his life. In my personal opinion. Now y'all see why I don't do those productions prematurely. So we're going to have to wait again to see what this next trial is going to bring. All we can hope is that they deny it and they send his ass to jail where he belongs, in Gen Pop preferably. So on that note, I'm going to go ahead and end the video. The only good thing that came out of this is that this guy was found guilty on every single charge that he was hit with. Hopefully they look at that second trial like it's just another notch on them trying to apparently save him, whatever, and just toss that to the side, or say he's been denied and just throw him in jail. That at this point, that's all I'll accept, because in my opinion, throwing him in some psychiatric place, that's basically putting him in the same exact spot that he was in before, and then he got out. So what's to stop him from possibly allegedly turning his life around and then he's getting out again? No. Throw him in jail for life, point blank period, without parole. At that point, like I said, that is all I will accept. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this down in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. If you haven't done so already, follow me on Twitter, have your notifications turned on, and I will talk to you in the next one.